Hey everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be looking at the Spyderco Paramilitary 2. And I got this guy from Blades We Love on eBay, as you will see in a second. Got him wrapped up just because I haven't been carrying him a lot. So let's get the box out of the way and take a look. Because I love these scales. It's hard to see with the camera. I mean, you can see the shiny, but they just have a really beautiful, like, metallic shine, not the real direct reflectivity that you're seeing in the camera right now. It's more subtle, but I just think they're beautiful. The scales are titanium. I think this is called flomascus. I have no idea what the process is behind it, but I also have the black DLC blade. The blade steel is CPMS 30V, as you can see right there. It's got some logos on the side. I'm not really sure what those are, actually. It's like this one's made in USA, in Colorado. That's cool. On Earth. Good to know. One interesting thing that I can see, just pointing out right now, is you see, let's see if we can get the light. Oh, I'll just hold it up closer. How about that? You can see that the blade grind goes all the way up over the Spidey hole, the full flat grind. You can see obviously it's on both sides. Right here, the larger step up right there, but then you can see it even carries over at the top. I think that's really an interesting touch. And this guy is a compression lock, so as soon as I drop that, he closes. When I got him, he was pretty stiff. I couldn't do the flick or anything like that, so I took it apart and oiled them up. Runs on washers, pretty common. But now, as you can see, he drops shut, and I can basically benchmate flick, where I just hold down the lock and pop it out and get it out back in. I know you guys can't really see that on camera, but it's very smooth now, so I'm glad. Let's see. This guy is wicked sharp, like this tip. I mean, it's basically cutting my finger, just like scraping sideways. It's crazy. So let's start putting them down. We have an overall length of 8.28, and the blade length is just under 3.5, with the handle being the other 4.8 inches. So I think this is my first PM2. I know this is a must-have in any collection. And you can see it's almost got like a mirror finish on the blade, on the cutting edge. It's interesting, I didn't notice that. Through 8.28 overall. Good average length for a bigger knife. You can see how ergonomic the handle is. These very cut out grooves there for your hands to go in. Perfect size for mine. You got really nice chipping on the liners, and as well as the back of the blade. They're pretty aggressive looking, but feel wise they're perfect. And you can see it's even got this choil that's made up of the top of the handle and the bottom of the blade, where you can really choke up. It's got some jimping too, just on the bottom of the blade there. Great knife, great handhold. One day I'll have to pick up a PM3. I have yet to handle one, so I don't know if the blade is smaller or if it's just the handle. I think it's just the handle. I'm not entirely sure, but I'd be interested to see how the PM3 felt, because this guy is like perfectly molded for my hand. I would be a little bit concerned about the PM3 just because of how well this one fits me. Anyway, so we had the 3.5 inch blade, the 4.8 inch handle length with the overall of 8 and some change. Like I said, we have the full flat grind, gives you this great cutting edge. It's a bigger edge too. See how wide it is. Sometimes they're smaller. Like I said, it is wicked sharp. I just shaved off half my hand there. The interesting thing about the scales, though, is it came with a little note that said, like, your fingerprint oils will, smudge or blah, blah, blah. So use Windex to clean it. I thought that was interesting. So, I can see, just from me handling the brief couple times I've handled it, the marks that my finger oil leaves behind. It's interesting to see. Taking this guy apart wasn't hard. You can see it's got all torque hardware, torque screws. This screw right here is really, really tight. Like I could not unscrew it out of the, I always forget what these are called. Oh well, out of this guy right here, the little screw thing, this one was way too tight. Everything else came out fine, but so that means I couldn't get the liner out. But that's okay, I just needed to get to the pivot and just oil that guy up because he was pretty stiff. You got a huge lanyard hole, really big for a knife, in my opinion. I've been told that I posted a picture of this on Reddit, and I've been told this pocket clip is very brittle, so I don't know if that means it's just stiff and it's going to stay stiff, or if it's prone to breaking. But Blades We Love does have a Spyderco deep carry that is flomascus, so I am very tempted to pick that up because I think that'd just be great, like almost over the top. But I think I would be a fan. So, yeah, as you can see, these are titanium. It's got stainless steel inserts, which, excuse me, is the locking mechanism there. You can see. Compression locks are interesting, so not really any way to measure it, not like a frame lock or a regular liner lock, but it's solid. No play whatsoever. That's also because I could take it apart and do that, but I've yet to carry this guy just because I'm up at school right now, so once I get home from winter break, I'll be back home with all my children. Be glad to see them again. I hate to think of them sitting in the safe not getting any carry action. But interesting thing about this, you can see that it's got just a one way, not even reversible pocket clip. But when I took it apart, you could see in the liners that there were. Let's see if we can get this in. Probably not. This is always hard. I need to get a flashlight or something. There you go. You can see the screw holes right there on this liner, because the normal scale would have a 4-way reverse pocket clip. So the liners still have the screw holes, but the scales don't. So sucks if you're left-handed or like to carry tip down, which I don't. So it's not an issue. Is that it? Yeah, that's kind of fun. Don't know how many Spydercos you can do that with. Most of mine are the lockbacks, so they're the FRN, so it's like a pivot, or not a pivot, like a rivet. They're riveted close, so you can't take it apart, which is a little unfortunate, but it's whatever. Let's see what else we should cover here. Oh, we had the DLC coating. The handle thickness is just under 1/2 inch. It might, and I'm looking on one with normal scales, so these might be thicker. I don't have a ruler handy, so they might be a little bit thicker. Also, I should get a scale because so the G10s, one G10 scales weighs 3.75. I imagine the titanium is a little bit heftier, just 'cause it's not that plastic. So I'd have to weigh this guy to find that out. We have the thumb hole, compression lock, and USA. Yeah. So I'm excited to carry this guy around. I have used my Delica 4, my Atlantic Salt, Tenacious, Lauzabo, Citadel, all those guys. I think I have reviews on all of them. Not the Delicas and the Atlantic Salt, but the other guys. So carried all of them, love them. It's got a little heftier, a little flashier. So just kind of, oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, you can kind of see where my fingerprint oil's getting in there, I guess. I don't know. It still looks perfect. But yeah, that's kind of the shine it has, but in like normal light, not that blinding shine. So really beautiful work. It's really encouraging to me. Makes me want to buy another one from them. So I'm looking at the Ohimbo with the micarta scales, maybe PM3. I think they had another one I was looking at too. I don't remember what it was, but yeah. Blades we love on eBay. That's where I picked this guy up. He's got a lot of cool stuff. So if you got Spyderco's Benchmades, they do a lot of ZT stuff. My ZTO 470 with the crazy anodization was also done by them. So if you want some really not, well, close to custom anodizations on your knives, then hit them up. So yeah, this has been the, price, how about that? Yeah, that'd be important, wouldn't it? Base model of these goes for about $170. I picked this guy up for $240, and the scales themselves were $100. So I mean, I got the whole knife because I don't have a PM2. The scales were $100, and the whole thing was $240. So I mean, I think that's a pretty reasonable price if you plan on getting both, as opposed to getting the knife and then buying the scale separately, taking it apart, putting them on, and all that stuff. So yeah, just depends how much you want to spend. But yeah, this has been the Spyderco Paramilitary 2.